And all those years watching you on the air, poised, confident, so professional, never would I have imagined that you had a secret that was really hurting you. National award-winning TV journalist and best-selling author Elizabeth Vargas smiles and signs books after speaking to a packed audience of 1,100 in Canton's Palace Theater. She is here as part of the Stark County District Library's book series focusing on addiction.
But like many, many women, I self-medicated anxiety with alcohol, mostly because it worked. And for many years, it was fine, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. 60% of women who are alcoholics are also anxious, but only 30% of men who are alcoholics are anxious. The link between anxiety and alcoholism is quite strong for women. So many women self-medicate. So many women feel anxious. So many people feel anxious. And that's part of why I wrote the book, is I think people need to start talking about these things. I mean, we've got not just a public health crisis with the disease of addiction in this country, we have an epidemic of teen suicide here in Ohio. There's been an enormous, devastating spate of suicides at high schools, and there's an epidemic of adolescent anxiety in this country, and part of the problem is we're not talking about it.
I'm really glad you brought that up, because I mentioned to you before, my daughter actually did an interview with me because she had horrible panic attacks. Can you explain a little bit, I know everyone's different, but what a panic attack even felt like for you? Because I don't think people understand how serious it is. It's not like, hey, just buck up and get over it.
No. People who, you can't tell someone who's in the middle of a panic attack. They can't even hear you. One of my children has anxiety, and when he's in the middle of a panic attack, I know that the only thing I can do to him is just to, try and calm him as much as incrementally I can. When I would have panic attacks, I would feel as a kid, I felt chronically nauseous. I was always sick to my stomach. And I didn't realize until just a few years ago, believe it or not, that that's a very common symptom, especially for children who are suffering from anxiety, is to feel sick to your stomach. As an adult, when I was, found myself feeling anxious, my heart would be racing. I would feel like I couldn't breathe. For me, I feel hot. And the only way, that I found that works now with dealing with anxiety is the minute those anxious thoughts start to come, it's like turning around and confronting them. Like, wait, what is this? Why is this happening? Is this really something I can control? Flying, I still get anxious. I hate it when the airplanes bank steeply. It makes me very, very scared, and I feel my entire body, clenching up. And then I realize, that's not going to keep us from crashing. I'm completely out of control. That's where, that serenity prayer comes in. Anxiety's tough. Mm-hmm. It feels embarrassing. Mm-hmm. It's embarrassing because you're looking around and something is making you anxious, but everybody else is just fine. So there must be something wrong with you.
Yeah, you feel like the freak in the room.
Yeah.
Did you ever think, hey, if I didn't have anxiety, I never would have become alcoholic or had this addiction? And some people say you're born an addict. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know that I believe that. I know that in some families there is a genetic predisposition. You can see it run rampant through generations, but I don't know. I drank moderately and in a controlled way for more than 20 years, and then it all changed. I don't know. Right. But I do know that I was born anxious, because that was with me from the start. I have 2 children. One came out of the womb anxious, and one didn't. The difference, between the way I was raised is my parents didn't know anything about that. So nobody ever soothed me or talked to me about it or helped me understand that this is just a feeling and it's not going to kill you. And by the way, a lot of other people have this feeling too, and don't be ashamed and talk to me about it, which would have done, so much.
I know you do the serenity prayer, but what other kind of things do you do that make a difference in your life?
I meditate. I learned transcendental meditation, and I actually really believe in that. TM, or any kind of meditation actually, gives you what I call that reflective pause, that moment that you think before you do or say something that you might go on to regret, or even that moment before you react in a way that might be panicky. Slowing everything down is the key to controlling anxiety. And for me, I am in a recovery group and I speak to other people, and just gets you out of your own head. It's very easy in this world of social media to go on Facebook or whatever, Instagram, and look at everybody's lovely, perfect lives and think everything's horrible for me, and get really depressed. Mm-hmm. And guess what? Those are beautiful glossy images of somebody's life. That's not reality.
The curated version.
The curated version.
Right.
The real truth is every single person has hard times. And that's what you hear about in these meetings. And, it goes so far to making you feel less alone and ultimately so grateful. That's the biggest key, is learning how to be grateful. I am certainly grateful for the experience of talking to this audience tonight, and grateful that so many people told me that they were so helped by the book. And I'm grateful that the darkest chapter of my life could be some good, perhaps, useful to others, whether it be to, chipping away at that massive stigma around the disease, because it is a medical disease of addiction, or the issues of mental health, which are serious and can be devastating. I used to sit in meetings with other people in recovery, and I'd hear people saying, I'm, so-and-so, I'm a grateful recovering alcoholic. And I would be like, grateful? Who's grateful that we've all gone through this? But I was looking at it the wrong way. You're grateful that you're alive. You're grateful that you're sober. You're grateful that you're grateful for the things that you have in life, and you're not taking everything for granted. Because I think once you're grateful for things and you're not taking things for granted, you're not going to fritter your life away, in a bottle of white wine, or by doing anything else self-destructive, if you're truly grateful.